Where are we going first? All right, we're going to talk about the car first. All right. We all know the bitterly cold temperatures can have an effect on your car out there.
Yeah, so the question is, how can you best protect your vehicle in these bitter temps? We've sent Gary McGrady outside, we're sorry, Gary, to share some of those tips.
Hey, it's not bad. It finally got above freezing today since I think sometime last year. So actually, it's not all that bad, and the winds aren't a problem. But listen, you know, it's going to get cold, and I think the biggest problem we're going to have with this big storm that's going up the East Coast, yes, we're going to get some snow. Sue's going to talk about that, and most of the snow will be off to the east of us. So there'll be a lot of driving around in winter precip, especially tomorrow morning, and then through the day tomorrow. But when we get this next wave of Arctic blast, it's going to be even colder than what we've had so far, okay? So we're going to have easily temperatures down in the single digits for mornings, and most of the day will be in the single digits until we briefly warm up into the teens on Friday. So we got thinking, how does your car deal with this, and what are some of the do's and what are some of the don'ts? We put together a few tips here. I want to show you some of these. Maybe you know, and some of them might be something that you just are not thinking about as you see this. And you can see here, basically, you want to think about if you leave something in your car, obviously it could possibly freeze, right? So you don't want to leave that stuff in the car. You don't want to leave your cell phone in the car. And I never really thought about this, but the battery gets cold and it becomes inefficient. And if you leave the battery in a cold car and then you bring it inside, it gets warm really fast. And that's not the way these things were designed to do. So it can really, really hurt your battery. And, you know, with the iPhone in the battery situation lately, that might make it even worse and make your phone even slower. Don't leave any soda. Don't leave any liquid. Don't leave your beer in the car, because if it freezes, then once it warms up, what's going to happen? Some of that stuff is going to burst the container and it's going to be all over your car. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a problem. One of the most important things I think you really can do is make sure you have a full tank, or at least more than half of a tank, because if you're out, you never know around here. A little bit of snow goes a long way. It could be, hey, what's going on?
I saw you pulled over. Thought you
we got friends. Do you guys have any tips? Jim Loquet, my colleague, Brody Logan, out buying lottery tickets.
Clear the snow off your car.
That's Jim's big thing. He likes you to do that.
Never
what about
drive.
you?
Just never drive.
Stay at home, right?
Stay at home and never drive.
I wish I would have put those on the full screen. Guys, have a great dinner.
It's the alternator here.
You never know who's going to pop in. All right, come here. One more thing, too. The battery is important. If you think it's a little sluggish, any auto parts store will be able to test that for you and put a new one in for free. Also, the wiper fluid is very, very important, because you need this, of course, to clean off your windshields. And another thing, too, I'm going to put this down. Oh, so important is to have the right kind of wiper blades here. Now, we at the Fox 5 vehicle spare no expense. These are the nice winter kind, probably Bosch. Those are what I like to use. They're expensive, but they're well worth it. And another thing too, guys, your tires are so important. Trust me, I've driven in all kinds of snowstorms around here. Blizzards, ice, even the little bit of snow that can be the biggest problem. Tires are the key. And if you have tires that are slightly balding, believe it or not, you want those in the front. You want your best tires on the back. Preferably, you want all four to be in good shape. But those are some of the tips around here. Keep your car warm. And believe it or not, you guys just mentioned it, if you warm up your car in your driveway, you could get a ticket. I can't believe that, but that could happen. Sean?
Yes, it can.
Tony?
Don't do that. Thanks, Gary.
It's good information. All right. The deep freeze we're experiencing is also invading the deep south. The winter storm is bringing frigid wind, freezing rain, and snow to unlikely places like parts of northern Florida and southern Georgia, stretching up to North Carolina. In Charleston, South Carolina, cameras captured overturned cars on the Savannah roadway. Look at that. The roads are not the only travel affected. Several airlines are canceling flights into and out of the South.
Oh, my goodness. You know, think about it. People around here go crazy when we get like a dusting of snow and they can't drive. So down there,
that's huge.
They're really not used to seeing snow.
And I understand that it got above freezing in Charleston, so a lot of the snow melted. It was only a few inches, and now they're worried about a lot of ice overnight because they don't have the kind of salt that we and the grinding that we do. We have a lot of treatment on the roads, I noticed, from our Saturday snow that we had. And the snow around here, as I mentioned at 5 o'clock, is not going to be worth calling out the National Guard for. All right? But different story at the coast. If you're watching us at the beaches, you are under a blizzard warning, and it could be a lot bigger out there, and wind whip to be sure, with very little visibility. So if you missed it at the top of our broadcast, I want to show you again the winter weather advisories, but more importantly, those blizzard warnings that are in effect. Those are in the red, so you can see that is a very significant development. And also this pink is winter storm warning. So the blizzard warning is to make sure you're aware of the wind conditions, and the winds could gust over 50 miles miles an hour out at the beaches tomorrow. We're going to have crews there. We're going to be bringing you pictures of what's going on. The National Weather Service did put us in a winter weather advisory. Notice it doesn't go too far west. 95 corridor, and we're going to show you some snow amounts here, but the farther west you are, the lighter snow you're going to see. Here's the very latest with our storm system. It is going to rapidly intensify tonight, which is why it's considered to be a bombing cyclone or a storm that is going to rapidly intensify. It's a nor'easter, but it's a really strong, really powerful nor'easter. And now we see that it appears as though snow is working its way already into southern Virginia, but I just checked all the observations, and this is a loft. It's very dry. Dew points are in the single digits, so this snow is not hitting the ground yet. It's going to take a while, but you'll see it first in St. Mary's County, where you could get 2 or 3 inches tonight. Impactful Thursday morning for you. Then it works its way up to our area, and we likely won't see first flakes till maybe after 1 in the morning. Could be longer because the area is so dry. Boy, is this going to pound the East Coast, though. The blizzard warnings continue through New Jersey, through Long Island, up to Boston. Winds in Boston could be over hurricane force strength, or right at the coast anyway, and they are expecting gusts over 70 miles an hour. So near hurricane force, that is for sure. Even though this is not a hurricane, it is a nor'easter because the center of it is cold, but it is mighty powerful and pretty intense already. So as we look at our future cast, you can see it brings the leading edge of the snow in here at 2 a.m. Notice there's a sharp cutoff as we are watching that. And of course, it will start sooner. It begins from south to north and spreads east. By 9 in the morning, you can see some of the heavier bands out at the ocean. We watch this continue to lighten up from west to east as it pulls away during the afternoon. And as we get into Thursday evening, the second part of this very big storm develops, and that is the very cold wind that we're expecting. Want to show you what we're thinking in terms of snow totals. It could be anywhere from a trace or flurries to a couple inches as we get close to the 95 corridor. At 95 and over to the bay, we think it may be closer to 2 to 4 inches. We've got a stripe of 3 to 6 that crosses the northern portion of the eastern shore, and then 5 to 10 where you're in the blizzard warnings here. And again, that will really be windy and whipping. Then here comes the brutal cold that gets pulled in by our departing storm, and that is going to be starting to be very noticeable tomorrow afternoon as winds pick up, but the dangerous wind chills come tomorrow night. We got above freezing today, by the way, 35 degrees after a record low at Dulles of 1 degree overnight. But there's plenty of cold air to be tapped, and that is not going to be denied. So a quick look at your Thursday morning wind chills. At 9 in the morning, it's mostly single-digit wind chills. By the time we get to 7 o'clock tomorrow night, wind is whipping, and we are seeing those wind chills drop below 0 in many areas to single digits. Friday morning is the coldest of it, and it continues to be cold even as we head through Friday night and Saturday in terms of the wind chill. But I think the worst may be Friday morning in terms of the dangerous cold. But look at the nighttime low temperatures, not wind chills, but nighttime lows single digits as we get into Friday night and Saturday, and boy, Sunday morning, awfully cold everywhere. But some good news. Look at next week, guys. We come out of the deep freeze for at least a few days of more reasonable temperatures Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
40s have never looked so good.
I know.
35 never felt so good today.
It really did. It's amazing.
Yes, no wind either, so that really helped.
Thank you, Sue.
You bet.
People nationwide have nearly $500 million reasons to play Powerball tonight. Strong ticket sales pushed the jackpot to $460 million. Friday's Mega Millions jackpot, $418 million. It is the first time that both jackpots have topped $400 million. The odds of winning both, though, are more than 88 quadrillion. But I'm still going to play.
All right, a rare sighting. What led to this chance meeting between Vice President Mike Pence and 2 of his predecessors? That's after the break.